Hi everyone and hello to a new live stream number 94. If you're watching me on Hello Talk, this is a live. You're watching me live now. If you're watching me on YouTube and Facebook, this is a recorded live stream. Basically, I go live on Hello Talk, the largest language learning app in the world now, yeah. And then obviously I try to share my knowledge with you guys. Bread. So in previous live streams we're doing like series now, yeah. It's a new series about food and specifically about bread, because we started like talking about food, and then we done like water, we done like different foods. Anyways, it doesn't come to my mind just now, but today is about bread, yeah. So we started the first live stream about the word bread. We explained that meaning. We start from A1 kind of like level, and then we had two different levels. This is what we do general English, but also academic English. Meanwhile, we do some grammar. Waiting on your interaction. I could see someone coming. Dear, hi to you. Hi to everyone. They're gonna start coming soon here, little by little. But meanwhile, we just go ahead with our conversation and wait on you to interact. Please feel free to address me with any questions here down below. Interact with me personally or interact with each other. Yeah, answer others and the others answer you or whatever. Anyway, just interact. The question is, how do I interact? That's a good question, by the way. But anyways, how do I interact? Simply interact with the content, because I'm gonna be explaining new notions, probably like something you know, something you heard of, probably you don't know quite well. Just ask questions or whatever, or simply practice what you learn with me. Jackie, hi, nice to see you. But anyways, feel free to interact. Other than that, I'll just go ahead with my live stream. I enjoy speaking to you guys, but meanwhile I enjoy watching them. That's what I usually do. Sorry about that. But anyways, like I said, if you're watching me on Hello Talk, this is live. If you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, this is a recorded one. Basically, I record my live stream, sorry, and you can see everything the way it is, even my screen when I share my whiteboard. But anyways, let's keep going. So the last time we done like brown bread, we defined the kind of like A1 level, yeah. So a food made from flour, water, and usually yeast mixed together and baked. We talked about a loaf of bread. When we talk about bread, you buy a loaf of bread, yeah. And the plural obviously is loaves with V, not F. Careful. Not F, it's a common mistake, especially among beginners. It's not loaves, it's loaves. Loaf with F of bread, and loaves is the plural, yeah. But anyways, loaf of bread, and we talked about when you slice or you cut or you chop that bread up. This means you slice it and you get slices, yeah. You slice it into pieces, into slices. So we talk about Jenny, hi, nice to see you. But anyways, so a slice of bread and loaf, and then you cut it or you chop it up into bread slices, yeah. Slice of a bread. And we talked about the state later. It would be like sliced bread, ed in the end. So you slice, yeah, you chop it up, or you cut it into slices and you get sliced bread. This is just a quick review, yeah. I'm not gonna go about it again because you're supposed to know it now. It's your problem to memorize it. Anyway, so sliced bread, yeah. So I've got here example, sliced bread. This bread was fresh yesterday but is now stale. Do you bake your own bread? And we talked about baking bread. You don't cook bread. Careful, you don't cook it, you bake it. bread and sweets or whatever. But then we talked about brown bread, the first collocation, and we know what collocation in English is very important. You might be doing it in your own language, in your own native language, but you don't notice it. And the question is, what is a collocation? Collocation is one word to hi Luna, nice to see you. Long time no see. Nice to see you too, Luna. Yes, so a collocation is a group of words, usually 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, but usually 2 words. They collocate, yeah? They come together to people they used to naturally use them together. For example, brown, the color brown collocates well with the word bread. So you've got brown bread, the famous brown bread, the healthy brown bread. The healthy but probably tasteless brown bread for many of you. Tasteless, yeah? Tasty, the opposite is tasteless, yeah? One of the ways to form antonyms in adjectives in English, tasty, you add y, tasty, and, well, it's not healthy. What do you mean? Brown bread, come on. But anyways, so tasty and tasteless, this is the opposite, yeah? It's not healthy, I don't think so. I beg to disagree, Luna. Brown bread is like we seen the last time, or maybe when you can Google it as well. The ingredients, yeah, they are tend to be healthy because you use the whole wheat, the whole grain, yeah. Rather than white bread, for example, because it's so delicious, the white bread. Especially when you toast it and then you butter it up and dip in soup or curry or whatever. And my doctor said to me, it's not healthy for someone who want to do to go on diet, to do regime. This is like French, yeah. To go on diet. Please, could you confirm whether you could see my whiteboard or maybe his blackboard? Can you see it, Luna? Yeah, that's good. So, regime is a diet in English, yeah? So why am I doing this? That's what I encourage you to do, is interact with me or interact among yourselves. It doesn't matter. The main thing is you learn. So, you could use to go on diet. On a diet. To go on a diet. Yeah? This is the first one, to go on a diet. And this is like more like semi-formal. It is formal. Yeah, regime in French. If we've got French speakers seeing us, because in Algeria, Luna's from Algeria. So in Algeria, it used to be the second national language, French. So to go on a diet or to diet. To diet. To diet. Oh, yeah. To diet or to go on a diet. I'm still mixing French with English. That's completely normal, Luna. That's completely normal. Don't worry about it. So, to go on a diet or to diet. Thanks for the heart. Thank you. To go on a diet or to diet, yeah? This is like French, faire un régime. And then your doctor said, so you need to look into what brown bread are you eating, because brown bread is healthy for your gut or whatever. You need to Google it more because it is healthy. We done it last time. Sure, probably you weren't there. But anyway, so we done brown bread, we done garlic bread. This is also another collocation for a bread. So garlic, you know garlic, the vegetable garlic. So you make garlic bread, yeah? Brown bread, garlic bread. And we done corn bread. So we've got Suhila, hi to you. Yeah. So let's keep going today with, we've got rye bread. Let me have a look. How are you doing, Suhaila? Nice to see you. So, rye bread, yeah? So, rye bread. That's how it's written. It's another healthy bread, yeah? Rye bread. It's dark brown one. You're gonna see with the definition. Rye bread, yeah? Thanks for sharing the live, Luna. Thank you so much. I would like you please to share the live stream. Let us get to know others as well. Mainly to get to know as many of you as possible. So rye bread, yeah? Rye bread, what does that mean? Dark brown bread made with rye, yeah? Rye is another grain, whole grain basically, not like wheat, but like a grain, different grain. Like you've got wheat, you've got maize, you've got rye. You have to Google it, put on Google image, and you can see what rye is. Because I'm not gonna go about it because it's a plant. Maybe we do that once we do like another series about plants, vegetables, because we could learn a lot from them as well. But for now I'm doing just the word bread, yeah? Sorry about that. But anyway, so rye bread, dark brown bread made with rye. That's it. That's what you need to learn from now. You need to learn that rye, the plant, yeah, the plant, the type of that plant is a crop. We call them crops, yeah? Crops like wheat, maize, rye, yeah? You need to translate into your own language or whatever. Because if I start detailing more, it would be like biology course. And we're not doing biology here, we're doing English. I'm sure if you put rye this way, here, can you see the laser pointer? Please confirm if you can see it, the right one, yeah? This is rye. What I want you to, that's good, Luna. So what I want you to do now is, what's more important to me, learn that rye collocates well with the word bread. So if you get Canada or whatever, and you go buy rye bread, yeah? So rye bread. And then practice your pronunciation. Rye bread. Rye bread. That's how it's pronounced. A rye bread is very dark. When you go to the bakery section, supermarket, or the bakers, the bakery, or you go to the bakers, both correct, yeah? In an English speaking country, you're gonna notice like all the bread white brown. The darkest ones are made with rye. This is rye bread. This is simply it for tonight. Rye bread, that's what I want you to learn. Rye bread, yeah? Let's have a look. What else have we got? We've got Intisar, nice to see you. Thanks for the flower. Wheat bread is basically bread made of wheat. Yeah, it's a mix of white flour and wholemeal. Yeah, so bread that is light wheat. This is the pronunciation. We're finished with rye bread, so we're dealing with wheat bread, yeah? Wheat. This is the crop. Sorry about that. So wheat. Wheat, yeah? That's wheat. And the word wheat collocates well with the word bread in English. Wheat bread. Wheat bread is a bread made of wheat, obviously, yeah? But the thing is, even white bread is made of wheat, but not the whole grain, not the whole wheat. So they take some ingredients, unfortunately. These Luna, these the ingredients that believed to be healthy for your gut, for your stomach, for your health, for you losing weight, for society problems. Society, not society. Society, SA, is when you feel, you no longer feel hungry, when you feel stuffed. So we've got white bread, yeah, but we've got wheat bread. This is a big difference here. So we've got white bread. Be careful. I want you to be careful about that. This is why pronunciation is really important. It's pronunciation here is really a key, yeah. So we've got wheat bread, but we've got white bread. White, the color. So white bread. There is a big difference between both of them, yeah? We say in Algeria, khubz الشعير. That's maize bread, made of maize, yeah? So maize bread, that's another crop. Luna, yeah? خبز الشعير in Arabic, yeah? It's maize, yeah? It's made of maize. But the one I'm talking about is a brown bread. The color is brown. Why? Because it could be made of wheat as well, but the difference is on the making. You can have wheat bread, but the color is white. Why? Because they process, unfortunately, the wheat to not take the whole, to not use it all. They use only the ones that makes it crispy, delicious white. But when it comes to, I mean, nutrition wise, it's not nutritional. That's why you get white and crispy, but it's not, it's delicious but not like nutritious. Does that make sense? But the brown bread I'm talking about is made of wheat, but they use the whole grain, they use the whole wheat. But obviously the color is brown and it's like not fluffy as the other one and harsh or whatever. It's not, it's believed not to be as delicious the other one, but it's more like nutritious. That makes sense now. So let's head back to, wheat bread, and we've got white bread. So both they use wheat, but the one at the bottom here, can you see my laser? Yeah, this one is really processed. So they only use the components within the grain itself, this one, the wheat grain, to make it really white. When you see it, it's white. It's white, but also delicious and crispy or whatever, yeah? But this one is kind of like half-half. I've got here a good definition by me. So bread that is light brown, so it's not white, yeah, in color, and contains a mix of white flour and wholemeal flour. See, Luna, what I'm talking about? It's wholemeal flour. We talk about wholemeal. It's a whole, not something taken off. Yeah, so that's why it's more delicious. It's healthier. Yeah. So we've got bread that is light brown in color and contains a mix of white flour and wholemeal flour. Yeah, so a loaf of wheat bread. We're talking about this one. Wheat bread, yeah? A loaf of wheat bread. This is like, you could say, you can say this is like 50-50. So it's light brown, so it's less delicious than the white one, but it's half healthy. So if you're really looking into going in on a diet or dieting, like we said earlier, to lose weight, so probably white and wheat bread, they're not your idea. Yeah, 50-50. Half or half-half. Half white, half brown. A half white flour and half, how do they make it? You mix sometimes when I bake myself, I bake my pizza or whatever, I use half-half, seeking seeking both virtues, some deliciousness but some healthiness as well. Yeah, but if you want your pizza really, yeah, to use white flour, I'm afraid that's the pizza you get at takeaway shop. That's it. It's white. But sometimes I go like really healthy, like I use wholemeal, but it's not like ideal choice. I'm trying. The point is I'm trying. Believe me, I'm really trying. With white, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So that's proper pizzas made with white flour, yeah, with white flour, Luna, yeah. You're going on our class, you should know now to use flour, yeah. Flour to make a dough. Pizza dough is made of white flour or a wholemeal, not brown flour. Careful, wholemeal. So we've got a white. We've got white versus. This is like a Latin word to say against, yeah? The opposite, versus. Don't ask me about Latin. So white versus wholemeal. That's what I know from language learning. This is like Latin. Versus, yeah? VS for versus. And we have it in English, we have it in French. I don't think we have it in French. I don't know. But anyways, I'm sure it's got, we've got in English. So versus, yeah? This is like Latin. Versus. I know you want to learn everything. That's why I have to write everything basically. Versus. Versus. This means against or something like that. Opposite. Compared to. These are all. And we've got an icon for it. So versus, yeah. The symbol is VS, yeah. So white flour versus wholemeal flour. White flour versus wholemeal flour. So that's it. So that was wheat bread, yeah? Wheat bread, let me have a look again. Wheat bread, we've got white bread. I think I should move on into more like idiomatic expressions. We love idioms. They make our English. It's like the outfit of English. When you when you get dressed up and you do your hair or makeup, this is your makeup. The more idioms you know, the more phrasal verbs you know, the more varied your English would be, yeah? So this is like more like informal, semi-formal English, yeah? We've got the first one here, bread and butter. Bread and butter. We're gonna come across this idiom again when we do butter, but for now we're doing bread, so we should do it because it's really important, this one. And yeah, idioms are very important. Bread and butter. In my opinion, I speak 7 languages. Whenever you learn a language, idioms are very important. They exist in every basically language, yeah? But especially in English, we're dealing with English now. So a bread and butter, what does that mean? So I've got here, usually your bread and butter. When someone tells you your bread and butter, they don't really mean some metaphorical, you could say, way of saying this. So a job or activity that provides you with the money you need to live. So your livelihood. And I'm going to do that later. This is synonym. Your livelihood. Have you heard of this? Livelihood. I think this is really advanced vocabulary, livelihood. This is really important, yeah? So bread and butter. Let's do the first one, but then we go ahead with the synonym as well. So a bread and butter, your bread and butter. When I tell you your bread and butter, what is your bread and butter? I don't mean I don't mean your bread you're eating and your butter to butter up your bread. I don't mean that. Your bread and butter means your livelihood, your job, your occupation, that you make your most money. If you ask me what is your bread and butter, I would say I am na 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 na. I don't wanna I don't wanna share it. I know you're all waiting. What is he doing for a living? Or what do you do for a living? Yeah, what do you do for a living? This is more like formal with a friend or whatever. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Obviously, what is your job? What is your occupation? This is like A1. Come on, but what do you do for a living? Yeah, or what is your bread and butter? Yeah, you're watching a movie and whatever he says, this is not, yeah, like I go, I go live or whatever, but it's not my bread and butter. It's just a different way to say my livelihood. It's not my livelihood. My car is my bread and butter. If you're like a driver, like delivery guy or whatever, delivery girl. So your car could be your bread and butter. This is how we use it. It's like more like semi-formal, informal, or semi-formal. Yeah, it depends on the context. You can, for example, a semi-formal, you could use it with your neighbor, old neighbor. I've got my famous old neighbor. the one who taught you how to say I feel under the weather, remember? Or over the moon. But anyways, this is like a semi-formal situation because they're your neighbors. You're not meant to know them that much. You don't need to know them that much. You're just your neighbors. They don't necessarily, they cannot necessarily be your friends here in the UK, but they're still someone you know. So it's like semi-formal because she's older than me. Yeah, it depends. Depends. So you could tell my bread and butter. My car is my bread and butter. You remember me for that Arabic guy who asked you for your life and come on. Yeah. He was almost living with me. Sharing my fizzy juice. Chin each other. Man, no, these like questions. Yeah, so bread and butter, yeah, is your livelihood. Let's head back to this meaning. Livelihood is more like formal, yeah, it's more formal. Why is it important to learn that? Why? Because it depends on the situation. If you are writing a letter to your boss or to the insurance company, you can tell them my car is my bread and butter. Yeah, you tell them because my car is my livelihood. Yeah, that's why I need insurance. I need insurance because the car is my livelihood. This is more like formal, more or less, yeah. I mean, it's more formal than saying bread and butter. But if you've got your UK friend, you can say livelihood, it's fine. But sometimes your friend tells you my bread and butter. And then you'll be like, that Takki never told me that. So I've got an example here. Gardening, yeah? Gardening is my bread and butter right now, yeah? Me, live streaming is not, my bread and butter. It's just like a fun activity. It's different way to connect with people over, yeah? To connect. Remember I told you that, yeah? Across or over. Roughly the same, but across. See the remote, yeah? Across the remote. But here, over, yeah? Go over. Jump over, my finger jumps over the remote, yeah? Keep in mind. So to connect, this is just a different higher way to say to connect with people over English language. Does that make sense to you? Yeah? To connect through or over. Don't worry. One day, believe me, one day you'll get to speak English such a way or even higher. It's totally up to you. It has nothing to do with the UK or Canada or what movies are you watching or friends you're talking to. Obviously they play a role as well. It's not to neglect, but it depends. Yeah, you will. It depends on how much you invest in learning English. Remember, I was once like you. I probably was once worse than you. But the difference, I worked on it. I'm working on it day and night. Look at me. Even at such level, I still like to live stream in a way to grow somehow. If that makes sense. Believe me, you teach me as well. That's why I keep coming. Sometimes I don't show up regularly, but at least on Facebook and YouTube, I'm posting regularly. So sometimes I go live here twice, 3 times a day. And you'd be like, I had enough of you. Why, whenever I go on my Hello Talk, I see you. Thank you for the heart. But yes, you'd be like, yeah, because sometimes I go live here twice or 3 times a day. It depends on my schedule. You know, like, it's hard being self-employed, and I'm not gonna tell you and having uni or whatever. So busy. But anyways, but I'll try to do my best, and I be there and I help, yeah? But I am regularly on Hello Talk, yeah? Even though like I said, sometimes I go like twice, sometimes I go just once a day, but certainly I'm posting every day, general and academic content, because I know I've got people there who are really interested in learning, and they, in a way or another, struggling. So I'm here to help. That's it. So yeah, gardening is my bread and butter right now. So it means they do it for a living, yeah, to bring the bacon home. What do you do to bring the bacon home? This means, what do you do for a living, yeah? Yeah, so to bring the bacon home, that's another one. We do that when we do the word bacon. We're doing food now, new series, food, water. I forgot what we've done so far. Water, bread. So I'm gonna do butter later. I'm gonna do like juice. I'm gonna do these things. Bacon, sorry. So this is food. So we said bread and butter means livelihood, yeah? Livelihood. Let's do livelihood, because that's what we do. Yeah, so let's do livelihood. This is a very important word, as a kind of like academic word, yeah? Livelihood, yeah? So the way someone earns the money, people need to pay for food, a place to live, clothing, etc. This is what livelihood means. This is it. Can you see my laser pointer? Livelihood. Please, please try to practice meanwhile your spoken. You know what? Oftentimes I receive this question: how do I improve my speaking? Simply practice. Because you see a livelihood and you go like livelihood and that's it. No, practice, livelihood, livelihood, repetition. That's another technique of practicing your pronunciation, because these are like the word that you repeat the most. Livelihood, 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 livelihood. And then you train yourself to livelihood this way. Livelihood, can you see it? The second one. Livelihood, livelihood, livelihood. Thank you, Kira. Livelihood, livelihood. Yeah, please try to practice. The first technique, one of the common techniques of improving your spoken skills is by repeating. You need to repeat, especially the words that you use the most. Yeah, livelihood is so common. Bread, butter, bread and butter, bread and butter, bread and butter, and that's you. Yeah, and then it just becomes a habit. Whenever like you do reading or whatever, you're just gonna repeat the words you don't know or you come across the first time, and that's how you get your spoken. And believe me, speaking is as important as listening, as reading, as writing. They all go together, yeah, hand in hand. This is another metaphoric expression, hand in hand. We work together, we collaborate. This is like semi-formal to formal. We work hand in hand. When I write it on Google Translate, came livelihood. It could be another variety, yeah? Because, you know, British and American, yeah? It could be. But in my opinion, I come across it that often. It's always all together. That's what I came across me. But if you get from a, kind of like a, an authentic source, means from a dictionary, recognized dictionary, Cambridge or whatever, something like a good resource, authentic, reliable, then go ahead, use it. Don't be scared, yeah? Just make sure it's whether it's American, because sometimes if you're like setting IELTS, for example, exam is British English, then you would have to write it this way, livelihood. When I write, yeah, so the way someone earns the money, people need to pay. This is what I'm doing, the second one here, livelihood, yeah. The money people need to pay for food, a place to live, clothing, etc. I've got an example. Many ship workers could lose their livelihoods. And again, Luna, all together, yeah? Livelihoods because of fallen, what's that? Fallen orders for new ships. Another example, that farm is his livelihood. Livelihood, I'm talking about the second one here. Livelihood. This is another synonym. This is like a more formal synonym for this one, bread and butter. This is their gardening, like we said earlier, is his livelihood or his bread and butter. This is like more informal, yeah? That's it. Bread and butter, livelihood. Exactly, yeah. It's just another synonym. But obviously the common question is, what is the difference between both? The difference lies on the formality. Livelihood is more like formal, I would say, but again, you could have it between friends, it's fine. That's why I would say it's like semi-formal, formal, whereas the bread and butter is strictly informal, is informal, bread and butter, yeah? But obviously, if you know your teacher that well and you're having like a casual talk, then you could maybe say, oh, it's my bread and butter, it's fine, yeah? But in academic context, if you're setting an exam, for example, academic, to go to university to Canada or UK or the US or whatever, any English-speaking country, and they want you, you're required to set an academic exam, then you can say bread and butter. You could say livelihood. So we've got bread and butter. I'm gonna move on to we can use it with our friends or in the street, but the other exactly that's an example of the difference between in a formal general setting and academic setting. At work, people you work with, they're your colleagues, they're not necessarily your friends. We talked about that they could be like pals. We done that when we done series friend, yeah, the word revolving friend. They could be work colleague or work pal, yeah, so they're not necessarily your friends. They could be your friends. You could develop a friendship while you're working, you're pals, and then you become friends, starting inviting each other over usually. So you invite them over means to your house, or you meet them for in Europe here for a drink or any like type of drink or whatever. You meet in a coffee shop or whatever. It's not necessarily drinking together. It's just in informal setting. So you're no longer working. You're doing hobbies together. You're learning language together or whatever, and you're becoming friends. Yeah, instead of work colleagues, then pals, then you become friends, and then you could say my bread and butter. It's fine, even at work, because it depends on the relationship, your relationship with them. But if you're speaking to someone the first time, usually you say livelihood, especially in a work setting, like you said, Luna, in a work setting. But like I said, it really depends. It just depends on the formality. So if you're writing a letter to your boss, you can't say my bread and butter. I'm afraid, yeah. I'm sure, not afraid. You can't do that. I live in the UK, I know what I'm saying. So you're writing a formal letter to your university, to your lecturer, yeah, saying tomorrow I can't come, yeah, yeah, I'm afraid I will not be coming. You won't say I won't be coming. I will not be able to come. But you won't say because I'm feeling under the weather. You would have to say because I have diarrhea, I'm struggling to concentrate, my son is disabled or whatever, yeah. For this reason, I'm asking for a 1 day leave, yeah, for a leave. That's it. In a formal way, you speak to your university or whatever, or basically your boss, yeah. But for a informal situation, my bread and butter, I bring the bacon home. I'm gonna give you another one within the same sphere. Your daily bread. Your daily bread, what does that mean? Daily bread is kind of like the same. Daily bread, bread and butter, or livelihood, which is like more formal, and then daily bread. We know what daily means, like every day, daily. This is an adverbial version of every day or daily, yeah? Daily bread. Usually your daily bread, my daily bread, oh, I thought I wrote it. Daily, oh, yeah. There you go. Daily bread, what does that mean? Your daily bread basically is livelihood, but it's more like specific. The money that you need so that you can pay for food, clothes, and other ordinary needs, or a job that provides this. So it's like a livelihood, the same, but more like my daily bread is my income, my money. Instead of saying, it's just, that's why we're here, to get your English to help you level your English up, to get your English to the next level, or level up, or improve it, or enhance your level. Enhance is more like academic. Improve, semi-formal, I would say, but it's all right. Like it's like in the middle, semi-formal. To level up your English, to level it up, or yeah. So this is like more informal, yeah, like spoken, general English. Careful, because in academic English, even your speaking is still like has got some formality, yeah. For example, Lincoln, when you're talking, I'm delivering something. Meanwhile, so you're Lincoln, you're not like as general English. You're not meant to link, yeah. So you jump topic. Yeah. So your daily bread. What does that mean? Your daily bread. Let's head back to the whiteboard. Your daily bread is the money that you need so that you can pay for food, clothes, and other ordinary needs, or a job that provides that, both money or a job. Yeah, so it's like livelihood. Yeah. So I've got an example here. For her, music is not a hobby, it's her daily bread. Music is her livelihood, it's her bread and butter. Same synonym here. That's why I said it's within the same sphere. Yeah. So here, for her, music is not a hobby. We're talking about her music, Luna's music. If she's musician, yeah. So for her, music is not a hobby, it's her daily bread. It's her job, basically, yeah. It's the money. Through her music, she gets money back that helps her pay bills, yeah. This is more common here in the UK. To pay my bills, yeah, to keep a roof over my head. We do that when we do body parts. We do head, yeah, to keep a roof over someone's head, basically to maintain your house by basically going to work. When you go to work, you earn money, yeah. When you have a good bread and butter, a good job, a good livelihood, this helps you get a nice house, keep the roof over your head, yeah, to keep the roof over your head. But it's not our topic for tonight. But anyways, your daily bread, yeah. I've got another example, I'm afraid. So as a freelance translator is they do it as a hobby. For example, yeah, a freelance translator, I'm dependent on my computer. That's why freelance is a hobby. So there is a slight difference between a hobby. The success is to turn your hobby into your livelihood. So you're enjoying you're enjoying your job, basically. You're doing something you like that much and you turn it into your livelihood, yeah. In the past, I managed myself personally to turn one of my hobbies, German, into actually a job. I was a online German teacher, so I made it my livelihood for a certain period of time. You don't want me to I don't want any questions. But anyways, your daily bread, yeah. So as a freelance translator, I am dependent, yeah. So yeah. I am dependent on my computer for my daily bread, for my money, for my living, yeah, for my living or my daily bread. Daily bread here, it could be semi-formal as well, but it depends on the context. It could be also academic. Daily bread, be careful. But the question is, why am I? It can be salary. It just, you know what, daily bread is like more eloquent way. You sound more natural when you say that. And even when you write an essay, when you say daily bread, and you know when to use it. or when you read books, when they say daily bread, you understand them. It's a different way, you know, to avoid saying salary because it's so common, salary. People tend to avoid the word salary, even in English. Yeah, it's just a nice way, daily bread, yeah? So you grab a book and you're reading, and then the guy, the writer, says daily bread instead of salary, instead of money, instead of your earnings. Earning is more like economical term, if that makes sense, economical term. But when you read in a magazine, that's why it's really important also to know academic English. Why? Because, for example, daily bread, which is more like metaphoric or idiomatic, yeah, but in certain contexts, certain types of text, because you've got magazines, you've got scientific journals, there is different readings you could do and hopefully enjoy when you speak English. It's not just speak English just like that, because you're gonna actually gonna get to enjoy your doing your hobbies, your work using English language. That's the point. If you're a musician or you're an artist, you're gonna speak to people in English, you're gonna read books in English, your manuals book, like your manuals, music manuals in English, and then you're gonna come across these like academic terminology. They say academic terminology. Term, it's like a word. Terminology is naming something. Terminology. Academic terminology. But anyway, so yeah, as a freelance translator, yeah, I am dependent on my computer, yeah, for my daily bread. So he uses a computer, this freelance translator. So it used to be his hobby. So he's self-employed translator, and he works basically flexi. So he is his own boss. Yeah. So a freelance translator. Sorry, I am dependent on my computer for my daily bread, for the money he earns, for food, for clothing, to keep the roof over his head or his family's head. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a slight difference between, like, I'm sure you notice it now. There's it's within the same sphere. Livelihood, bread and butter. Livelihood and bread and butter, they're both synonyms. Whereas daily bread is more like specific to a salary or the money earned. Yeah, the earning. Yeah. So your daily bread. Yeah. So the money that you need so that you can pay for food, clothes, and other ordinary needs, yeah? Or a job that provides this. But obviously with practice as well. That's why you're required to practice. That's how you master English. The more you invest in any language, and basically in everything, but since we're talking about English here, the more you invest into English learning, the better your English gets, and the faster. Yeah. And believe me, English learning, I speak 7 languages. Language learning in general, it's a life learning journey. Yeah, I used to teach German, never said, I had enough from learning German. You learn all the time, constantly, yeah? Ceaselessly. Ceaselessly, that's another academic term for non-stop. German is hard. You know what? Every language is hard. Even English is hard. You tend to believe it's, I don't know where people got from, because they're probably you're exposed to English more than German or Italian or whatever, and then you go like, English is easy. Believe me, English is one of the hardest languages on earth. On earth, English is very hard. It's very hard language. It's not easy to master English. I'm talking about proper English, not you sound like American or British and that's you. No. When I say to you ceaselessly, that's English, yeah? That's academic English, yeah? Ceaselessly or never-endingly. And you go like, never end. Oh gosh, how he used it. But that's English as well. Let's do that. So, you heard of ceasefire in World War II movies? So they say ceasefire, ceaselessly. So, cease it means to stop, yeah? Ceaselessly. I could say that this way. Never end, but that's when advanced grammar knowledge is about. Never endingly. Oh, sorry, I was almost using an appropriate word. Sorry about that. So, ceaselessly or never end. So never end, that's a verb. Ending and ly. Sorry about that, Luna. Sorry, others. So, there you go. There they are. So, ceaselessly or never endingly. That's a higher vocabulary. That's really C2 level, yeah? In English language. Academic, yeah? Never endingly. Look. So in order for you to get to this level, you would have to be really, really advanced. It's not about sounding like British or Americans, no longer like that. Yeah, even an American or native speaker could struggle with that. And that's a fact. I live with this fact every day. Like I see it, like I live it. Yeah, I used to say in front of, sorry. Yeah, but really that whiteboard is not great. So ceaselessly, never endingly, yeah? So that's what I mean by English is very hard as well. It's very hard language. It's really hard. Believe me, it's so hard English. You're exposed to English and you think you know English. Oh, German is hard. But I agree with you, German is also hard. I believe every language is hard in its own way. That's what I believe. 7 languages so far. Every language is really hard on its own way, yeah? Or in its own way. It's both correct. So here, to earn your daily bread, yeah? So that's money. So he earns his daily bread as a tourist guide, yeah? Like we said, compare it with bread and butter. How long have I been? That's a good question. Have I been live streaming? I think it's time for me to go. Unfortunately, that's me. 1 hour, I'm tired. That's why I want to give you the cream of what I've got in my head. But then, after 1 hour, I'm really tired. Whether I show up tomorrow or not, it's all totally up to my schedule. But I'm trying to be as regular as possible as I could. Yeah. But yeah, usually I've got every day I go live because I really enjoy it. Yeah, Yeah, I think I should call it a night now. It's has been an hour since I've been live streaming. Thanks, Luna. You're welcome, Luna. Thank you, everyone, for yeah. Hopefully, don't Algerianize on the thing. But anyways, so I hope to see you soon. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for hopefully enjoying the live stream and most importantly, learning from it. This is the point. While enjoying, obviously, hope to see you soon. Keep an eye on Moments on YouTube as well, on Facebook, sorry. I post before I go live. You two have a good night. Have a good one, everyone. See you later, like we say in Scotland. You don't know when later is. Bye.